In case we need to replace the motherboard, the first thing to do is to unplug the power. We open the lateral support staff slightly around the quadrant and lower it. We unscrew the 4 bolts that are in the corners. We slip out the carder, disconnect the various cables, opening the wings that are supporting them just slightly. We take out the 8 screws that keep the motherboard in place inside the quadrant and take out the board by removing the front section. I removed the piece of the heating quadrant where the display rests. And we replace it with a new one and a new panel. At this point, we fix the motherboard in with the 8 screws that we previously took out. Once the board has been replaced, we need to reconnect all the cables. They are all guided, therefore easily recognized. The only one that we must particularly pay attention to is the grounding connector. This connector must be positioned on the board as shown on the connection. All the other grounding connections are positioned in the appropriate section as shown by the ground symbol. Once all the connections are in place, we will close the board in with its carder and we will tighten the 4 corner bolts. At this point, we can plug the power back in. If we need to replace the gas valve, first of all we need to close the gas feed off and then the power supply, at which point we can unplug the gas valve. Take it off. With a 24 size wrench, we loosen the bolt on top of the gas valve, at which point we take out the 2 screws below the valve, at which point I remove the 2 screws situated below the gas valve, which is fixed to the inferior staff. As the heater is being loaded, we will act on the load faucet situated below the water group, opening it and seeing the pressure gauge on its right moving up, reaching an optimal position. In this case green. Red instead indicates that it's out of range, so the pressure is too low or too high, as seen now. By opening the security valve situated on 2 bar, once the unit is charged, we must check that the jolly valve set on the circulator is open to release any excess air that may appear in the first part of the unit and in the heater itself.